Hey guys, Lorena Magana here. Today I'm talking to filmmaker Scott Eriksson about his film, How War Ends. Let's take a look at a clip from the film.
Suppose life experiences like love and happiness are different ice cream flavors, and everyone is like a cone. If family members represent some of your cherished options, then 3 of my favorite flavors were taken away from me, and the bottom of my cone was also crushed, leaving a big hole.
How War Ends is 2 people in a room talking, and it's based on a true life story about a conversation between 2 Cambodian brothers, and they both have survived life as little kids under the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, which is true, and under Pol Pot's regime in the late 70s, he killed 20% of the population, trying to get rid of all the educated people and whatever and turn it into an agricultural society. And they both lost their parents, and the older brother, well, they now both live in the US, and this is when they're in their late 20s, and the older brother is able to sort of move on, and the younger brother has his whole life been sort of always in this state of constant, really dark depression and been able to function in his life. So the conversation is about the younger brother saying, I just want to go, and wanting his older brother to give him permission to commit suicide.
How difficult was it for you to broach the subject of depression and suicide in this film?
I don't think that the conversation was difficult at all for me, because I think I've always been a very sort of outspoken person. So for me to be able to try to talk about it and explain it is not so difficult as for me when writing the script is taking time to go through every single word and every single phrase and see if I could get it right and say exactly the way I wanted to say it. I wanted it to be something that I could help people understand what that's like, and also not to be judgmental about it as much as to sort of throw things out there to make people think about it, sort of. And so that was the more difficult part for me. But then the lead actor, the other actor in it, D.Y. Sao, who plays the older brother in it, he is actually Cambodian. He actually came from the Khmer Rouge, and he was the first person I approached about the film. And somebody told me about him. I saw his work. I said, I know this guy can handle it. And I sort of wanted that authenticity if I could. I sent him the script, and he read it, and he said, I can't do this. Because I asked him to do the younger brother role, which is the suicidal brother. And he said, I can't do this. It's just too emotional for me. And usually actors like to tap into that. And he was just afraid that he would just not even be able to do it. It had such an impact for him. And I sort of begged him a little bit, and he finally said, you know what, I'll think about doing the older brother. I think perhaps maybe I can handle that. And after about a month, he said, okay, I'll do it. So I was really grateful for that, because I thought that sort of added something to the film by having that sort of authenticity to it. So.
With your actors, you were able to garner such intimate performances. How long was your rehearsal time? We
actually didn't. The actor, William, who plays the younger brother, the suicidal brother, he was going through a really bad time in his life when we did the film. So for him, it was easy to tap into those feelings, which was beneficial for him. But he actually was not originally going to be in the film. The film, D.Y. and another actor, Osric Chow, who's in 2012, The Man with the Iron Fist coming up, and he's who is a friend of mine, was actually going to play the younger brother. And D.Y. and Osric had already rehearsed a month before. And then Osric was in Beijing waiting to hear about being in Keanu Reeves' new film. And he said, Scott, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And this was like a month before. And I said, I'm going to wait and see what happens. We're down to the last week before we're filming. And he said, Scott, I'm not going to get back there. And so William came in, literally, I think he had only like a week to learn the lines, and almost no rehearsal. They just did a little rehearsal themselves over the phone before we actually filmed. Yeah. I'm really happy with their performances, because 2 people talking in a room is all dependent on the script and the actors. And if either of those things fail, it's not going to work. you.